As part of our program today, we add a new chapter to the Our Journey portion of the Eternal Gandhi Museum, one that celebrates a modern champion of justice and compassion. Our new exhibit tells the story of a man whose life embodies Gandhian principles of leading with compassion, confronting injustice without fear, and proving that one determined individual can ignite worldwide change. Please join me in welcoming Nobel Peace Prize winner Mr. Kailash Satyarthi and three-time Grammy Award winner Mr. Ricky Cage to unveil our new exhibit.
The Eternal Gandhi Museum, Houston, for this very special event, Gandhi, Mantras of Compassion. Looking around this room, I see so many friends, supporters, and kindred spirits who care deeply about building a more compassionate world. We are so grateful that you chose to spend this evening with us and that you have supported our mission so generously. For me, Gandhi's message of compassion has always been deeply personal. I often think of his words, to find yourself, you must lose yourself in the service of others. These words remind me that compassion is not just an idea to admire. It is something we must practice, one small action at a time. Tonight is about rekindling that commitment together. And what an amazing evening we have ahead of us. We are honored to have two remarkable change makers. Nobel Peace Prize Laureate, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, and three-time Grammy Award winner, Mr. Ricky Cage. To have them both here together in Houston under the same roof is truly a rare gift. And I can't wait for the conversations and inspiration they will share with us tonight. And of course, we will end the evening the way Gandhi himself might have appreciated, over a beautifully, thoughtfully prepared vegetarian dinner from Indian summer, celebrating food and good company. So thank you so much again for being here and for supporting the Eternal Gandhi Museum Houston, not just as a place to remember Gandhi's teachings, but as a living, breathing space where those teachings are put into action. Let's enjoy this evening, open our hearts to new ideas, and leave inspired to carry Gandhi's message of compassion into our own lives. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce an artist whose music transcends borders, cultures, and languages. He is a three-time Grammy Award-winning composer, music producer, and environmentalist, and most recently was honored with the Padma Shri Award. Ricky Cage is not just a musician. He is a global ambassador for peace, sustainability, and compassion. Through his powerful collaborations with artists around the world, Ricky uses the universal language of music to bring attention to some of the most pressing issues of our time: climate change, environmental justice, and human unity. Ricky Cage reminds us that music can be a tool for healing, for awakening conscience, and for building a more compassionate world.
Internationally renowned Indian music composer and environmentalist, a U.S. Billboard #1 artist,
3 times Grammy Award winner. He's won over 100 awards.
Ricky Cage.
It is time to shine a light. Let's do this. It is time.
Ricky Cage, our champion for nature.
I take this opportunity to say thank you to Ricky Cage. Ricky has been inspiring and is one of our champions.
My brother Ricky, I'm really proud of you as always.
We are all in this together. We are all in this together. And nothing can remind us like a simple...
And the Grammy goes to Winds of Samsara.
And in the black...
I'd like to thank the Recording Academy. Asatoma Satgamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you.
And the Grammy goes to Stuart Copeland and Ricky Cage.
In India, we've got a saying called as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which literally means the world is one family. Live in peace with all entities on this planet, whether it is the animals, the wildlife, the forests.
It is It's time to shine your
Stuart Copeland, Divine Tides, and Ricky Cage.
It's our time. Let's do this. It is
Namaste and thank you.
it's time. Let's
Climate change is absolutely real. Climate change is human-induced, and our actions are affecting countries on the other side of the world.
It is time to shine your light. Shine your light.
Please join me in welcoming an extraordinary artist and humanitarian, Mr. Ricky Cage.
Namaste, everyone. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much. It's a huge honor to be here at the Eternal Gandhi Museum. Thank you to everyone who made this possible, especially my dear friend Sumati. Where are you right now? Yeah, there. A big round of applause for Sumati. And of course, it is an absolute honor to be in the presence of my, of course, it's an even bigger privilege to call him my older brother. That is Kailash Satyarthi ji. One of the greatest human beings alive today on this planet. That's what I would say. Maybe the greatest human being alive on this planet today, in my opinion. A person who needs no introduction, but just imagining why he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014, that itself brings all of us goosebumps, because he is responsible for rescuing over 100,000 children from child slavery and forced child labor. That deserves a round of applause. And he led the global march against child labor in over 100 countries worldwide, which became the largest social movement in the history of our world when it comes to children's rights. So for these reasons, he won the Nobel Peace Prize, and of course he deserves much more than that, but it is the biggest award that we have on this planet. So I think he's absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the album that we co-created together. This album is called Gandhi, Mantras of Compassion. Now Gandhi, as all of us know, this whole museum is based on Gandhi. So all of us have got some knowledge on Gandhi, and if you've not taken a tour of the museum, I would strongly suggest you do that, because it's an absolutely beautiful museum, very well researched, and I had a great time having my first tour of this museum this afternoon. Now, Gandhi has been a lifelong hero of mine, as he has been a hero of Kailash ji. All three of my previous Grammy Award-winning projects have had a song on Gandhi. So there was always this desire to create a whole album on Gandhi. Now, Gandhi has not only ensured our freedom in India from the British, but he also ensured that freedom without shedding a drop of, by ensuring that there was not a drop of bloodshed through his non-violence resistance. Also, he handheld Indian society by questioning traditions, by ensuring that our society brought in critical thinking into our everyday lives, and he brought us into the 20th century. He, of course, was assassinated in 1948, but he continues to live on through his ideals. He inspired some of the greatest leaders on this planet, like Martin Luther King Jr., the folk hero of the United States of America. He has said numerous times that Gandhi was a huge influence on his life and on his civil rights movement. Nelson Mandela has said that Gandhi was a huge influence in his fight against apartheid. Obama has said a few times that he would have never been president of America if not for the teachings of Gandhi. So this is the kind of footprint that he's had in the consciousness of this world and in making this world a better place. Now, cut to 2024. Another hero of mine, as I mentioned in the beginning, is Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. And I got the opportunity to meet him in the beginning of 2024 through a concert tour in India, where we did about 4 cities. We did a concert tour where I would perform for 90 minutes and Kailash ji would speak for 30 minutes. And this was a fundraising exercise for his beautiful organization known as the Satyarthi Movement for Global Compassion. Now, compassion is a word that's thrown around a lot. Everybody has got a different definition of compassion. But Kailash ji's definition of compassion is something that really, truly struck a chord with me. He defines compassion as selfless problem solving. Now, that is such a simple definition, right? Selfless problem solving. which literally means that you're solving a problem, but it's not necessarily a problem that you face. And you're solving it in the most selfless fashion. And that really resonated with me, and that's why we did that concert tour. And during this concert tour, I had the absolute honor to spend a lot of time with him. As I said, I became a younger brother to him. And during this time, we happened to discuss a lot about Gandhi. And that is when the thoughts of creating this whole album on Gandhi got rekindled in my head. We had some discussions as to what it would be like, this particular album, what are the messages that needs to be refreshed in the minds of all of us, as the human species. Gandhi has said so many things about humanity, but also about environmental consciousness. Now, as I said, he was assassinated in 1948, so he lived during the early years of the 20th century, that is the early 1900s. And he said things like, the earth has got enough for everybody's need, but not everybody's greed. And this is something that we know now for sure. But he said this so many decades ago. He also said that the moral compass of a society is defined by how it treats its animals. We know now that that is absolutely true. And the then president of America in the 1930s, that is Roosevelt, he had once said that he considers American society to be successful if everyone has got 2 radio sets and 1 car. And when Gandhi was questioned about this by the British during that time, because we were still under the British rule, Gandhi just laughed at that statement, and he said that, that if that's the case and everybody's got a car and everybody's got 2 radio sets and all of that stuff, then there's not going to be any place for people to walk. And the emissions of those cars is going to ensure that we do not breathe. And this was so many decades ago, and now we know that as being an absolute reality. So that is how forward-thinking Gandhi was, and that's how important his ideals were. Now, even when it comes to the effects of climate change, we need to understand that being the change that we want to see in this world is the most important thing, because we constantly talk about changing the world, but we very rarely talk about changing ourselves. And that's not because we are bad people or we're evil people. It's simply because we haven't empowered ourselves to believe that the small, tiny, incremental changes that we can make within our own lives actually matter. Because that's all that matters. We first need to change ourselves, and then we can bother about, changing, the world. So the album itself, we brought together over 200 musicians from 40 countries. That was the album. It is a huge exercise in creating this. Orchestras from all over the world, traditional musicians from all over the world, everybody coming together with a common purpose of spreading a very important message of truth, non-violence, peace, coexistence, environmental consciousness. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to play you a short trailer of this album, and then we will take this further.
Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated on January 30th, 1948. But the assassin did not know that some people never die. Gandhi is indeed one of them.
I might not be standing before you today as President of the United States had it not been for Gandhi and the message he shared and inspired with America and the world.
I became deeply influenced by Gandhi.
He was an inspiration to millions and millions of people. And the extraordinary thing always seems to me that he is currently still an inspiration.
So that's the album. And then what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to showcase one music video from this particular album. The song is called Compassion or Karuna. Karuna is a literal translation of compassion in an Indian language. And this particular song for the music video, we thought that we need to showcase Gandhian values in this music video. And what better way to showcase Gandhian values than to showcase the life of Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. So what we did was that I collaborated with an amazing gentleman called Davis Guggenheim, who had made a documentary on Kailash Satyarthi ji, which actually won the top award at the Sundance Film Festival in 2017. And he also went on to winning the Oscar for the documentary he made with Al Gore, that is Inconvenient Truth. An amazing, amazing guy. So he helped me make this music video for the song Compassion, and this showcases Kailash's life. Here is Compassion.
When I went to school for the first time, I saw a boy of my age sitting outside the school gate, working on the roadside. I will never forget the boy's eyes. I asked my teacher, friends, and my family, why this boy is not going to school? Everyone tried to convince me these people are poor people and their children have to work. I was fighting against a social evil, but I was fighting against mafia, criminals.
चिंता उनता ना करे, अम्मा ना बताए कुछ।
If you see any kind of atrocity and abuse and exploitation of any child anywhere, break the silence. Stand up. March with me. March with me. March with me.
Thank you. And just wanted to let you guys know that Kailash ji actually is not feeling well today, and in spite of that, he's actually shown up for this event. I think that's absolutely commendable. I think I've embarrassed him enough for today. But nevertheless, I'm just going to say that it was very, very hard on me to actually see him in the hospital today, because he's a super, super energetic guy. And to see him on a wheelchair, that's right now, that's something that is completely out of the ordinary. And it is something that makes me very, very sad and very depressed. So I would say during the course of the evening, let's be compassionate to Kailash ji in our interactions with him, because he's really, really not feeling well today. And I think another big round of applause to him. And now I have the honor to make an introduction. So it's my distinct pleasure to introduce a very special guest who honors us with his presence this evening. We're joined tonight with Mr. Manjunath. So his presence here tonight is especially meaningful because Gandhi is not just a part of our past. Gandhi is definitely our future. And Gandhi and Gandhian values is the greatest gift that India could have ever given the rest of the world. So through leaders like Mr. Manjunath, India continues to share that message through him globally. So please give a very, very warm welcome to our Consul General, Mr. Manjunath. And you have to come on stage.
A very good evening, everyone. It is always a pleasure to come to this beautiful temple, I would say. I've been associated with the museum since the day I came here. I was fortunate to be part of the team when they opened this museum, and the government of India also is very proud to associate for this great cause in propagating the Gandhian values. We have a Gandhi statue here, but today is very special. I think we got a beautiful much meaningful wing or addition to the museum. We have someone who is embodiment of Gandhian values. His life history also we have in this medium. I think we are thankful for Dr. Kailash Satyarthi for being with us today. And of course, our good friend Vicky, I don't need to elaborate much further about him. I mean, we all see him as, many of you may know, but last year, he composed the national anthem, especially, and all over the world in our embassies and missions, we played that and we used that, in addition to all the Grammy awards, his passion for contribution towards the India's becoming Viksit Bharat is very commendable. We are grateful for him to join, and to all of you, the historians, a big thank you and many compliments for all the good work you are doing and all the support you are giving to the institutions like the museum here, and also keeping the value, the Bharatiya values, like Vicky just mentioned, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, all those values and the Gandhian values here. And thank you for the the EGMH team for making me part of their family here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Consul General. Well, it is truly my profound honor to welcome to the Eternal Gandhi Museum, Houston, a man who has dedicated his life to turning Gandhi's ideals into action. For more than 4 decades, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi has been a tireless advocate for the rights and dignity of children around the world. In the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi, Mr. Satyarthi has led peaceful protest, spearheaded legislative changes, and built bridges between governments, civil society, and communities to create a world where every child can live free, can go to school, and dream fearlessly. Today, there is no better person to remind us that compassion is not passive. It is a call to action. A champion for children everywhere, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi.
There was some confusion during the day and for last 7 days that I should return back to India because I was having some infection and high fever for all those days. But I always feel that any effort made outside India. The effort to create not just a memory, but also the place of reverence, the place of learning, the place of teachings of Gandhi. That is not just a temple, but it is a pilgrimage. I was in Italy last week on the invitation of Pope. He invited about 50 world leaders and Nobel Peace Laureates. And two of us were given the opportunity to address 135,000 people assembled at St. Petersburg Square. And as he said, 2 billion people were watching. So instead of going back from there, I decided to come and meet you. This was Gandhi's charisma. And I am someone who always believed in a book, holy book, the book of philosophy and spirituality, which Gandhi always carried with him, Gita, Bhagavad Gita. There are so many messages in Gita, but many a times when I was attacked, my office was burned or ransacked, my family was attacked, I was hospitalized. I always remember automatically what Lord Krishna says. It says, Nainam chinnanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakah nainam nachanam kledayantyapi nashoshayati maruta. You are the one, no wind can take you away. No water can make you wet. No fire can burn you. So sometimes body, or most of the times, body controls us. That means our 5 indriyas and the mind. It controls our life. And we lose the purpose of being here on the earth. So, when I was having 104 degree Fahrenheit fever while coming here, I took 2 medicines and I decided to come. Thank you. The second reason was my most adorable younger brother, Ricky. You don't trust me? You should trust me. You could be a great musician, but if a Nobel Peace Laureate says something, you should trust. But since I came here, I was expecting actually. I know Indian DNA. Right at the airport, Sumati ji was there, and Shyamji. That was the first day, and took every possible arrangement of what should I eat. But she or her friends thought that I should eat delicious, heavy, gravy food. But her heart was with me. That is her kindness, that makes you more authentic to be the co-host of this event, this sense. And then the next morning I learned that a couple, Renuji, I say Renuji first because she was the one who was cooking food, and Sanjayji, who took care of everything. The very first day I was taken to a doctor, Dr. Ramarauji. He was kind enough to take care. And Krishnanji, Manishji, so many people were around me and giving all kind of care. So let me come back to Gandhi. Lot you know, lot has been told. But my friendship with him was quite hard when I was still a child. It was 1969 when the nation was celebrating Mahatma Gandhi's first centenary. I learned and I read about Gandhi in my textbooks. But I was very impressed by those people, the leaders of my township, who spoke high, definitely very high, like worshipping Gandhi. Political leaders, social leaders from all parties. And they very strongly condemned untouchability. And they were giving messages to everyone that untouchability is the curse on Indian society. We have to get rid of it. Gandhi has taught this lesson. I was born in a Brahmin family, traditional. But when I listened to their speeches, I was so impressed. I thought that one day I should become a leader. I should join a political party. Not bad idea. So I thought that let me begin with my career. I was 15-year-old, just turned 15. So I asked some of my friends that let us organize a feast where the sweepress women, the untouchables, they should cook the food, and definitely the leaders will turn up in large number because they are the warriors of this message. So very excitedly, me and my friends went to those, what we called those days Harijan colony. Because of the Gandhi, the name was given Harijan, untouchables colonies, neighborhoods. So when I brought this idea before those men and women, they were very angry. They said that you are making mockery of us. You are saying that somebody will come and eat if we cook. I said, I have been listening to them for the last few weeks in the public meetings. They said, no, nonsense. This is not possible. You are a child. You don't know the society. So I sat down there like a dharna in that colony in one person's place. And I said that I will not go before eating.
the food cooked by your family, I will eat, and I will drink the water. It was the days when, if a Harijan, what we call Dalit now, cannot pass through any temple, they cannot sit or ride bicycles. Not only in my township, Vidisha in Madhya Pradesh, but in many other parts of the world. So when I started eating the food cooked, everybody was assembled. Other people were coming from the neighborhood. And an elderly woman stood up. He said that this boy has changed the entire city now. If somebody comes and eats, that's great. But he did it, which we never ever imagined in our life. So we went. We were very happy. We collected some pocket money and requested those women to come and cook khichdi, simple thing, and aloo. And then me and my friends knocked on doors of all leaders. It was a small town, but there were 30, 40 leaders, small, big. So they said, oh, wow, you are so great. It's revolutionary. Bravo. So I was more and more encouraged. Definitely. Then, वो पानी भिजवाना, वो गरम पानी. Then I chosen a place that was newly built Gandhi statue or a Gandhi platform. That was the most appropriate place to organize this kind of thing. So me and my 5 or 6 friends were very, very excited. The time was put 7 o'clock. Until 8 o'clock, nobody turned up. 9 o'clock, no one. Then we took another round on our bikes. Somebody said that, oh, I had some bad stomachache. Another said that, oh, I have a high command meeting. I thought about the command which Rama was holding, but I've never heard high command at that age. So it was like Parasuram's command. This leader is going to hold. So some said, okay, we are late, sorry, but we will come. It was 10 o'clock. It was 10:30, almost 11. I tell you, sisters, brothers, I had no courage to look into the eyes of those women who came to cook the food. I was hiding myself behind the statue of Gandhi. Then it was something like the entire, my whole perception, the knowledge, the idea about the society was melting down. It was broken, the image. Hundreds, thousands of thoughts came to my mind. Then I sat down and I took a plate. And I tell you, all these mothers wore the best possible clothes they can think of, saris. They might have taken shower 20 times, 100 times, because they wanted to be the part of changing the history in India. It never happened that all leadership in any of the township came together and ate the food. I never read about it, so I was more excited. It could have been some places here and there. Even during the time of Gandhi, the people who were fighting, and Gandhi was fighting all the way against it. The leaders around Gandhi was definitely Gandhian and lived with the Gandhian values. I'm talking about a township. So I started eating. And I could not hold myself. I started crying. And suddenly, an elderly, untouchable, so-called untouchable mother put her hand from the back on my shoulder and my head. And he looked at me and said that, my boy, beta, तू क्यों रो रहा है? Why are you crying? Whatever you have done today, nobody can imagine to do it. That was more than 60 years ago. I went back home. There were Pandit from my family's community, Brahmin. They were assembled and waiting for me. As soon as I arrived, they started shouting, my family as well as those relatives and other Pandits. And I was already very angry. Not upset only. Said that you have done the biggest sin in the entire clan. And I opposed. I said, we are the people who go to open toilets, open latrines, and make all the filth and everything. And these women, every morning, bring a small bucket or something and they fill at it and they take it away. So who is dirty? Those who make dirt are dirty, or those who clean, they are dirty. Then they became very angry and they said that this whole family should be outcasted. So my mother, my other brothers, they were pleading. So one of them said that, okay, this is not the fault of the family, this is the fault of this boy. He should be punished or purified. I said, what is this purification? Then the order, the sermon was that I would be taken to river Ganges for holy dip. And when I come back, I have to organize a feast. My family has to organize a feast for 101 Brahmins. And I should wash their feet and drink the sprinkles. I was very angry. I said that I can leave this place, but I will not do this. Enough is enough. So decision was that there was a small room in the corner in my courtyard, and one door opens on the street. So I was put into that. My drinking pot, my food, everything was served in my room. And the very night, I saw my mother. I used to always sit with her because our kitchen was our dining room also. So she was crying the whole night. I saw her from but I thought that if I go and hug her or she hug, I maybe somehow emotional and so. So I decided to stay there. But the whole night I thought that who are these people to outcast me? I am going to outcast the entire caste system from my life. And the easiest way was to change my surname. So it took some years because I was 15-year-old, so I could not. The next year I started my engineering, and then I did my engineering. But those days, if one does not become 21-year-old, cannot change his or her identity. So I had to wait for a few years. But then I started writing Satyarthi, the seeker of truth. Simple. Because I strongly feel that those who say that they have attained truth in their life, I doubt. Why I doubt? Because I won't say the ardent reader of Vedas and Upanishads, but that was my hobby. And that's why I studied Sanskrit. And not only that, I got married with a Sanskrit scholar, Sumedhaji, who is sitting there, so that I can learn more Sanskrit from her. So finally, I gave this new name to myself. But when it comes to the truth, truth is not words. When the Upanishad says, when the truth begins, all words end. When all the words end, only then the truth starts. It's an experience. Truth is an experience. You have to live with that. Today, the world has never been so wealthier, so knowledgeable, so advanced, so fast, so interconnected through high-speed internets. But the world has never been so broken. The world has never been so divided. The world has never been so filled with hatred. The world has never been so filled with violence. Violence remains inside us. Sometimes it is expressed, sometimes you keep on suppressing it, and it is expressed in your personal families, your workplaces, and so on. It is not just war. Wars are the bigger manifestations of violence. Why it happens? We know, we have enough knowledge of all problems of the world. What Ricky is fighting for, the Paris Accord is here. The global commitment is here. The financing support for climate, to mitigate the climate crisis, it is here. All these things are known. But why it is not happening? Why 473 million children are cursed to live in war-prone countries or the conflict zones in the world? What is their fault? Innocent children are being killed, maimed, orphaned, deliberately kept, starved. What is their fault? And I ask simple question to all of you. Whose children are they? Most of you are Indian here. He just used the phrase, Vasdhava Kutumbakam. Is it a slogan? Or it's a way of life? Whose children are they? They are my children. They are your children. They are our children. Who are enslaved, sold and bought like animals, killed and so on. Denied their education. 250 million children who have to be in schools, they are not in schools. Just 4 or 5 days of global military expenditure can ensure education, quality education for all their children. So world is not so poor. So dear friends, we know the problems, we know the solutions, but there is a serious disconnect between the people assigned for solving the problems and the people who are suffering. That requires a sense of moral responsibility. Moral responsibility. That needs a sense of moral accountability. It needs a moral compass. This is not coming. Because we don't feel that they are our people. I am one of them and they are one of me. This sense is gone. It's growing every minute, every second. I've been working across 150 countries for last almost 30 years, much before my Nobel Prize. And I know what is happening, what happened in the last 30 years or so. That moral compass is gone. How would it come back? When we remember Gandhi, in the known history, there was no legend, human being walking on this earth, had converted the strong moral values, universal values into the social movement, into the political movement. Satya, the truth. Ahimsa, the non-violence. Satyagraha comes out of it. And peace. These things were taught in the holy places. Gandhi said, no. If I start living with that, I will walk and others will join and they will start living with that. And then we can organize long marches, long events, huge mass mobilization. There is no other example in the history. That was very special. But that speciality comes because Gandhi was the tallest compassionate leader of our times. Why I say compassionate leaders? Gandhi did not have any kind of emotion, feeling of taking revenge. Gandhi has associated with everyone, anyone, including with British. He was not hating the British people. He loved the British people. He loved those people who were jailers and policemen and torturing him inside the jails. But his relationship with those people when Gandhi was released and when they went back to their home countries, Britain, they have written the long notes about their experience living with Gandhi. Gandhi was very concerned about their life and problems. That is very special. May it be the Noah Khali, may it be the whole march to stop the Nile production, whatever. There are hundreds of examples. He was full with compassion. Friends, I wind up by saying that compassion is innate. Gandhi was not special. I don't worship Gandhi. If I started worshipping him, then he will not be my friend. I wanted to be a friend of Gandhi so that I can learn. Sumati ji had Gandhi in dreams and he taught her. But compassion. Compassion is not empathy. When you feel the suffering of others as your own, you are empathetic. If Dr. Ramarao becomes empathetic, he cannot treat. He can dwell into it. He can overwhelm or merge with the suffering of his patient. It is not sympathy. It is not kindness. It is not mercy. It's not pity. These pity, mercy, kindness, all these things are great human traits. Great human traits. Everybody should carry it. But we should not stop here. Because these good human traits cannot transform the society. When I say transformation of society, there are issues in this country also. The issues of racial discrimination, color discrimination. They are so deep-rooted that if you become sympathetic to a guy of different color, it's not going to solve the problem. There should be very, very strong movement. The gender discrimination in many parts of the world, how can you solve it? By being sympathetic to the women and girls? Or being emotional for them? Or we have to find the way out. So the deep-rooted problems and sufferings which are rooted in structures, structural problems, institutional problems, cultural problems, they can be solved only when you use compassion. You should go and dig out your inner power of compassion. All of us are born with two natural gifts by God. One is Chetana, consciousness. Another one is Karuna. So I have started a new movement based on my own life experience. What drove me in this path, which was always, always dangerous. Even one single day in my life for years was not safe. The local administration, the government, the police were connived with those mafias because they were earning huge money. And several times I had to leave the place to protect myself, or my family had to leave. This was the life. But what drove me? My wife was visiting me in hospitals because I was broken head, bleeding. So I started realizing and thinking that this connectivity, which should be genuine, then the drive to action that should be courageous, powerful, innovative. This can come only through compassion. So I have redefined the compassion. My book will come. HarperCollins picked it up as something very new idea to the world, because that is a different definition. Not against, but evolved definition. Many a times, most of the people in the history are caught with a definition. if you don't evolve the definition as the humanity evolves, then it is difficult. So my definition, he told in 2 words, but I say in 2 sentences. So compassion is a force, not feeling. Rest of the things are feeling. Compassion is the force born out from the feeling of the sufferings of others as your own, and that force that drives you to take mindful and selfless action, that drives you to take action. Only then the structural, the systemic, the institutional problems which causing so many things, and loneliness, the alienation, being aggressive politics, aggressive economy, aggressive faith. How can you solve these problems? No priest can solve. You can solve, you can solve, you can solve. Through compassion. So, mindful, selfless problem solving is compassion, as Ricky said. Dear friends, when I was speaking at the podium of Nobel Prize, no Indian-born Indian, had this opportunity to stay and stand and speak on this podium. So I was a little bit nervous, and I lost my papers. And I'm not used to read papers. Then I remembered a story. There was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals were rushing for a safer place, including King Lion. King Lion noticed that there was a tiny hummingbird flying towards the flame. And he asked her, "What nonsense? What are you doing?" She said that I was born and grew up in this jungle. I am going to extinguish this fire. More surprisingly, he asked, "What nonsense? You are committing suicide." She said, "No, sir. I was born and grew up in this jungle. I cannot leave it like that. Look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water. And I am doing my bit," she said. And she flew. Dear friends, whosoever you are, whatever you do, but there is a tiny hummingbird inside each one of you. Don't keep her suppressed. When you feel that you have some responsibility to the world, and the world is burning, this is because of the tiny bird. That tiny hummingbird is calling you. So whenever you feel that you have to help someone, you have to fight out, you have to oppose wrongs and injustices, this is because of your tiny hummingbird. Thank you so much.
Congressman Al Green has proudly represented Texas's 9th district since 2005. In Congress, he has been a steadfast advocate for civil rights, health care, and the underserved. But what makes tonight extra special is that Congressman Al Green helped make this very museum possible. He sponsored the Community Project Funding Grant that turned the dream of the Eternal Gandhi Museum Houston into reality. And we are so thankful for him for that. His lifelong commitment to justice, compassion, and lifting up those in need is exactly what we are here to celebrate. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to our own Congressman, Al Green.
Thank you very much for the very kind and warm reception. I have to extend an apology because I interrupted your message. It was not done with intentionality. I just happened to walk in at a time when I was seated, and please forgive me for the interruption. It was a great message, and it should not have been interrupted. So I thank you. Thank you. To my friends assembled here tonight, and many of you are faces that I recognize, and I would dearly like to acknowledge all of you. So may I just simply say to all of my friends, it is a preeminent privilege to have you be so kind as to give me such a warm reception. I am honored to have played a small role in helping us to acquire this magnificent facility. And I am deeply and greatly honored to be here with a Nobel laureate who was a friend and someone who knew Gandhi, the great soul. There are just not many opportunities to meet people who have played a role in history. So I'm honored to be with you. And I do agree with him that we do have some great troubles that have to be dealt with. Some very troubling times that we live in. I cannot add much of anything of substance to what he has said, so let me just say this. When we can witness a genocide and not acknowledge it, there's something within us that has to be corrected. We see what's happening, and we cannot say it. In the beginning was the Word. We have to at least acknowledge what we see. Do we not believe our eyes? So I'm grateful that you would call to our attention that we need compassion. I pray that I will develop that compassion and have that one drop of water that will make the difference. Thank you. Could you hold this, please? I have a certificate of special congressional recognition that I would like to present. Thank you, sir. This certificate of special congressional recognition is presented to the Eternal Gandhi Museum, Houston, in honor of your service to the community, but I would dare say to the county, to the state, to the nation, and after tonight, I think it's only fair to say to the world. On behalf of the constituents of the 9th Congressional District of Texas, I salute your invaluable contribution as a cultural and educational resource dedicated to promoting the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, as well as advancing nonviolent resolutions and fostering peace around the globe by building bridges of friendship. It is signed by me, Al Green, as a member of Congress. But I must tell you what is stated beneath those words, because they're important to all of us, and they're especially important to me. Beneath the words Al Green, member of Congress, are the words scion of the enslaved Africans whose lives were sacrificed to make America the country it is. For 240 plus years, they were enslaved. These are the people who planted the seeds, harvested the crops, fed the nation, had a hand in building the White House, a hand in building the Capitol. 240 plus years. By the way, it was intended to be permanent. It was not intended to ever end. It was a caste system. Class is a socioeconomic circumstance. You can move in and out. You are born into the caste, you live in the caste, and you die in the caste. So beneath my signature is an acknowledgement of the persons, millions, who suffered. They have not been appreciated. They have not been acknowledged for what they have done to make America the country it is. So as I present certificates now, I do my small part to acknowledge the backs on which we stand if we are in this country. There are 247 years sacrifice. So I am proud to present this certificate, and it is my superlative pleasure to present the certificate to you, sir. And I thank you.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Congressman, for making the time to be here with us tonight. Well, we have one more special treat, and I'd like to invite Mr. Ricky Cage, the Consul General, and Al Green, and he's going to give us a very amazing surprise, I hear. Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is that we're going to be launching, or rather showcasing, a music video from the album Gandhi, Mantras of Compassion, for the first time ever. And this is for a song called Be the Change from the album. Of course, inspired by the very, very famous slogan by Mahatma Gandhi, be the change that you want to see in this world. This particular song itself, it features the New York Youth Symphony. It's an amazing 75-piece orchestra from New York. And it's a very unique orchestra simply because the ages of the musicians are from the ages of 13 years to about 22 years. So it's a very young orchestra, and they're absolutely brilliant. In fact, they won the Grammy Award for Best Orchestral Performance in 2022, beating out stalwarts like John Williams and the Berlin Symphony Orchestra. So they're absolutely amazing. And this is fused with a Vedic choir. That is a choir which sings songs from the Vedas and in Sanskrit. And this Vedic choir is actually from Boston. So this Vedic choir actually exists in America. A whole lot of other musicians coming together to bring to life Gandhi's very important message. And the music video itself features this very famous and acclaimed artist, a painter from India. His name is Vilas Nayak. He was on America's Got